Hi everyone, I am Golden Ashwini. I am here to present 8051 architecture. On completion of this video, students will be able to explain what is microcontroller and what are the blocks used in 8051 microcontroller. They can also explain what are the applications of 8051. First one is 8051 microcontroller. Okay, it is one of the basic type of microcontroller. It is designed by Intel in 1980s. The microcontroller was based on Harvard architecture and developed primarily for use in embedded system technology. Normally, this microcontroller was developed using NMOS technology. Okay, so which requires more power to operate. Therefore, Intel redesigned microcontroller 8051 using CMOS technology, and their updated version came with the letter C in their name. For instance, an 80C51, it is nothing but CMOS. It is an 8-bit microcontroller. Then these latest microcontrollers requires less power to operate as compared to their previous version. So the 8051 microcontroller has two buses and two memory spaces of 64K into 8 size for program and data unit, and it has an 8-bit processor unit and 8-bit accumulator unit. Okay, this is the architecture shown in the diagram. First we are going to see central processor unit, CPU. As we know that the CPU is the brain. Okay, so CPU is the brain of any processing device of the microcontroller. It monitors and controls all operations that are performed on the microcontroller units. The user has no control over the work of the CPU directly. So it reads program written in ROM memory and execute them and do the expected task of that application. Okay, then the next we are going to see interrupt controls. So its name suggests interrupt is a subroutine call that interrupts of the microcontroller main operations or work and causes it to execute any other program, which is more important at the time of operation. The features of interrupt is very useful as it helps in case of emergency operations. So an interrupt gives us a mechanism to put on hold the ongoing operation, execute a subroutine, and then again resumes to another type of operation. The microcontroller 8051 can be configured in such a way that is temporarily terminates or pause the main program at the occurrence of interrupts. So when a subroutine is completed, then the execution of main program starts. Generally, 5 interrupt sources are there in 8051 microcontroller. That is INTO, TFO, INT1, TF1, R1 or T1. Okay, these 4 interrupt controls. Next one is memory. Here we are using 4K flash as well as 128K RAM. Actually, in microcontroller requires a program which is a collection of instruction. This program tells microcontroller to do a specific task. So these programs require a memory on which these can be saved and read by a microcontroller to perform specific operation of a particular task. So the memory which is used to store the program of the microcontroller is known as a code memory or program memory of the applications. So it is known as a ROM memory of microcontroller, and also requires a memory to store data or operands temporarily of the microcontroller. So the data memory of the 8051 is used to store data temporarily for the operation is known RAM memory. 8051 microcontroller has 4K of code memory or program memory that has 4 KB ROM and also 128 bytes of data memory of RAM. Next one is bus control. So basically bus is a collection of wires which works as a communication channel or a medium for a transfer of data, right? So these buses consist of 18 or 16 or more wires for the microcontroller. So thus these can carry 8 bits, 16 bits simultaneously. It have two types of buses that are already known, that address bus as well as data bus. The address bus microcontroller 8051 has a 16 bit address bus for transferring the data. It is used to address memory locations and to transfer the address from CPU to memory of the microcontroller. It has a 4 addressing modes. We already know that: immediate addressing mode, register addressing mode, direct addressing mode, register indirect addressing mode likewise. Okay, so data bus. Microcontroller 8051 have a 8 bit of the data bus, which is used to carry data of particular applications. Next we can see oscillator. So oscillator, generally we know that the microcontroller is a device, therefore it requires clock pulses for its operation of microcontroller applications. For this purpose, microcontroller 8051 has an on-chip oscillator, which works as a clock source for central processing unit of the microcontroller. The output pulses of oscillators are stable, therefore it enables synchronized work of all parts of 8051 microcontroller. Then next one is input output port. Normally microcontroller is used in embedded systems to control the operations of machines in the microcontroller. Therefore, to connect it to other machines, devices or peripherals, we require input-output interfacing ports in the microcontroller interface. For this purpose, microcontroller 8051 has 4 input-output ports to connect it to the other peripherals. Next, we can see timer or counters. So 8051 microcontroller has two 16-bit timer and counters. These counters are again divided into 8-bit register. The timers are used for measurement of intervals to determine the pulse width of pulses. Okay, next we can see the applications of 8051 microcontroller. Some of the applications of 8051 is mainly used in daily life and industrial applications also. Some of the applications shown below, what are that? Light sensing and controlling devices, temperature sensing and controlling devices, fire detection and safety devices, automobile applications, defense applications. Some industrial applications of microcontroller and its applications are given below. We can see what are that? Industrial instrumentation devices, process control devices. Some of 8051 microcontroller devices are used in measurement applications. Then voltmeter applications, measuring and revolving objects. Then current meter objects. Then handheld metering systems. Okay, the next one is quiz questions. The bit size of 8051 microcontroller. What is the bit size? Okay, there is a mistake. US, that means IS. Okay, what is the bit size of the 8051 microcontroller? We know that 8-bit. Then name the architecture and instruction set for microcontroller. In the first slide we saw that. What is that? Hardware architecture with CISC instruction set. CISC is nothing but complex instruction set computer. Okay, so the name of the architecture and instruction set for microcontroller is Harvard architecture with the CISC instruction set. Okay, thanks for listening.